Hello everyone. Over the last few weeks, I have been asked a same question again and again. Last year, I filed my income tax return because I wanted a TDS refund, needed it for a visa application, or wanted to apply a loan or credit card. But this year, I don't need any of those things. So do I still need to file ITR? So if you have the same question, this video is for you. So let's start with the most important point. Just because you filed an income tax return last year does not automatically mean that you must file this year also. Income tax works on a year by year basis. Every financial year is treated separately and your filing requirement is determined based on that year's income and circumstances. Right now, we are talking about financial year 2025-26, which covers the period from 1st April 25 to 31st March 2026. So, how do you know whether filing ITR is required? The first thing to look is at your total income for the year. This may include salary, pension income, pension income, rental income, business income, professional income, capital gains from the shares, mutual fund, interest from the saving account, and fixed deposit and other source of income. So if your income exceed the applicable basic exemption limit, or if you fall under any mandatory return requirement conditions prescribed under the Income Tax Act, then filing of the ITR may be compulsory. On the other hand, if your income is below the applicable limit and no mandatory filing application applied to you, then monthly filing an ITR last year does not make filing mandatory this year. However, there is one important point to be noted here. Many taxpayers assume that they have very little or no income, but they may still have interest income, investment transaction, or other reportable activity reflected in their records. That's why I always recommend viewing your AIS, TIS, Form 26S before deciding whether an ITR should be filed or not. Now let's address another common concern. What if I skip filing this year and later realize that I needed to file the return? In certain cases, an updated return may be available. However, relying on that option later is not always the best approach. It is always better to evaluate your income tax position correctly before making a decision. From a practical perspective, maintaining a regular ITR filing history can be beneficial. It often helps when applying for the loan, visa, financial products, or whether proof of income is required. But remember, that is a practical example, not a legal requirement. So the key takeaway from this video is very simple, that filing an ITR last year does not automatically mean you must file this year also. Your obligation depends on your income, transaction, and the applicable tax rules for the current financial year. If you have any specific situation and are unsure whether you should file an ITR, feel free to leave your question in the comment box. I will do my best to guide you. Thank you for the watching.